Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 219 of the NZXT podcast, the official podcast of the NZXT community. This podcast is recorded live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the official NZXT Twitch. It is available to stream on demand on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. My name is Mike Kim, and before I introduce our very special guest, I do want to talk about the giveaway that we're doing right now. We are giving away an Intel hoodie, mouse pad, and shirt going away for you guys for this podcast right now. It is US only. We're working on the global. Don't worry, we're working on the global thing. There's a lot of terrorist attacks going on right now, so we're getting that done. Also, we are also doing an Intel giveaway for our NZXT Intel Club. As you can see this beautiful shirt right here. It is our lovely community thing that we do. Oh, there's Poochie right there. You can win him a Chippy plushie, a shirt, stickers. Oh, and of course, and there's Chippy right there, and the beautiful award of an NZXT Intel PC every month. So what you do is go to nzxt.co/club or !club in the Twitch chat if you're live here. You guys can click on that link, earn Poochie points. You can actually earn Poochie points by watching this podcast right now, and you guys can enter into the giveaway from that. So start ASAP, start now, and special thank you to Intel. So I think that is all the announcements I have before we do it. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our very special guest. Introducing the queen of the Kasual Kingdom, and that's Kasual with a K, by the way. She's built a premier sanctuary centered on coziness, inclusiveness, and gamingness. A previous corporate drone like myself, now turned full-time streamer. Please give a warm welcome to KasuallyKat. Kat, can you introduce yourself to our audience and tell us what you're all about?
Hello, everyone. Hopefully everyone's doing good. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are tuning in the world. My name is Kat, also known as KasuallyKat on all socials. I'm a full-time variety streamer and content creator for almost 5 years now. Huge milestone.
Wow.
Whoop whoop. Bringing you guys all of the casual playthroughs and narrative storytelling to all of my content, gaming, tech, anything streamer related. I am the casual queen.
I love that. Honestly, like, we have like the big streamers that, are all doing like crazy shooters and doing all these like crazy effects. It is nice to have a streamer that's just like, hey, just come here to relax and everything like that. I love that aesthetic so much. So we're going to go a little bit into your, past of like what got you into gaming in general. So what was like the first game that you like played as a kid, if you remember?
Oh, I mean, the first time that I got a PC I was like really little. So I had to be like 5, 6, 7 years old. And the reason why we got a computer was to keep in touch with my dad. My dad was deployed overseas. So the best way to kind of, communicate with him while he was on the ship going through so many different deployments was just through like emails and everything. So I would say like the first game that I ever got introduced to, I don't know if anybody remembers this. Like I grew up in the 90s. So like 90s, early 2000s was like everything, like my childhood, my nostalgia. Jumpstart first grade. Jumpstart first grade, Jumpstart third grade was like the two that I really grew up playing. It was the one with the dog and the one with the robot, depending on which one that you were gonna play. But I played like a ton of games, I would say. Yeah, it was like the one with the pizza and the kids
I
like
think I
in
remember
the cafeteria.
playing this. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm like, oh right, I do remember playing this as a kid.
But
Wow.
I played like a ton of games like on PC, and then I grew up with the Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket. I have a funny story with the Game Boy Pocket. So it was my brother's 10th birthday. And after we sang happy birthday and we were just opening up his presents, he got the Game Boy Pocket. You could kind of see me kind of just in the corner, got a really really sad face. My brother and sister were cheering because he got like his own console. You could see me in the corner, um kind of just get really really upset, and all I just said was, what about me? Because like I grew up playing Barbies. Like, don't get me wrong, I grew up playing Barbies, but then I always played with video games with my brother because we're so close in age, like 2 years apart from each other. So we always grew up, like playing together, even though he would always win. But that was always something that we grew up just like watching together. So it was literally that moment that I got really, really sad. And then eventually he let me, play with his Game Boy a little bit, and I got really happy at the end. It's like very like tears of joy, but that was probably one of the most like funniest like home movie videos that I still have to this day. But yeah, like playing video games for me was just something that I grew up like very long time. Game Boy, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, like it grew on me for like the longest time.
Wow. I mean, you started off with like, you had the PC, you had the Game Boy and everything like that. Do you have like a favorite game during your childhood that you're like, this was like my childhood?
Ooh, that's a tough one because again, I grew up playing like a lot of games. There was one that I would always play on PC like every time. It was the original Lego Island. It was with the one with all the, you had to deliver the pizzas to all the people. And then towards the end, you deliver the pizza to the guy in jail. And then he goes on this like, goes on this little like jailbreak. He breaks out of jail and you have to like capture him by throwing like the pizzas at him at the helicopter or something. But I will say, I mean, I would say my favorite video game of all time, easy, The Legend of Dragoon. I think that's a game that really needs to deserve its flowers. Any sort of like remake, remaster, even like a prequel, please give us something because I still have that physical copy of the game. And I know that there's like a man-made kind of like emulator called Sever Chains that I see people stream it on Twitch, but I don't have the processes to, or like the equipment to actually like convert my physical copy over there, so I can't really play it. That would be like the one game. That would be the one game that I would stream my entire like rest of my life if I had to. Like everything from the combat system to the characters to the stories, like probably like one of the few games that I will play over and over again, doing like 100% completion on, like hands down.
Are you a big like RPG fan then? Like, are you big like Final Fantasy, Baldur's Gate kind of fan? Because it looks like it's around that area.
Yeah, it grew up, it came out in like 1999, so it came out around the time of Final Fantasy 7. So it was kind of like a little bit of a competition over there. But I honestly didn't really get into the Final Fantasy series. It wasn't until I played like the Kingdom Hearts series. But I did try to play a Final Fantasy game. Couldn't get into it as much. I'm sorry. I'm probably gonna get canceled when I say that I don't really like the Final Fantasy series, but I resonate with the Kingdom Hearts.
I don't like the game either. Like I never got into it. Like I said, like I just was never a Final Fantasy person. But then you meet like the people that are like, this is my entire life, and I'm just like, I just never got into it. I'm sorry. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that. So we have all this gaming and everything like that. I'm sorry guys, please. So we talked about your childhood gaming and your brother and everything like that. I feel you. I have an older sister that was also into gaming, and she always got the fun stuff, and I got the hand me down. So I feel you on that. So Yeah, I get you. I do want to go before we get into your full-time streaming. You are the first ever person that we've interviewed that is into modeling and pageantry, which is really
Wow.
cool. So I do want to show
I feel
off.
honored.
Like it was so cool because like we'll talk a little bit more about how we got to meet you and everything like that. But
Yeah.
like when we like like we're like, hey, would you want to do an N60 podcast? We like took a look into your Instagram and we're like, whoa, this is insane what she's doing. So let me show off like all the cool stuff that you've been doing. Like this is awesome. Like you have the pageantry here, like Miss what is this? The how do you pronounce it? Allegheny County? Allegheny County and everything like that. I saw you're also Miss Pennsylvania too, Miss Ohio. There's like a ton of stuff. So let's first go into it. So what was like the specific moment that made you want to step outside your comfort zone and get into pageantry and modeling?
So I always wanted to be in the spotlight. I was like the entertainer of the family. Like my first real passion was to be a singer. So I was like vocally trained ever since I was 8 years old. Got into, the chorus, the choir, was in the musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. I played Sally Brown my senior year of high school. And then when I was 19, I auditioned for American Idol. Um, so they did like this whole little like tour and everything, and my city was one of the tours that they picked. So um obviously I didn't get in after waiting like 8 hours, but I mean it led on to other things. Modeling was just kind of something that just came out on a whim. My gym teacher back in high school would always write in my yearbook about, hey, if you can't decide of what you want to do for college, consider modeling. And, I did think about it, but it was just like, no, I don't think this is for me. And then I ended up getting 2 associate's degrees. My first degree is in computer science, and the other one was in business administration. I studied both general and medical. Um, and when I got into my first like big girl job for a really large healthcare company, I thought that was gonna be it. Like, oh my God, like I could finally take a vacation. I could finally like save enough money to do everything. Modeling kind of just like came out on a whim. I literally looked at one of my old yearbooks and was like, hey, like I was thinking of doing modeling. What do you guys think? And then like probably just the amount of people are like, yeah, go do it. And I did it for about 8 years. I officially retired last year from modeling. That's a pretty long time. But I have had so many experiences with being on publications on both, on a national and international level and everything. And that also led into pageantry, which was just something that I kind of just wanted to do because my modeling career was a bit stagnant. Let me just try something new. The very first pageant that I competed in was in 2023. I ended up getting first runner up with only like 6 months of training. And then, we're about to compete in our fourth pageant. And hopefully this will be the year that we, finally take home the crown. Um, but it's definitely cool when I tell people like, hey, so what do you do for a living? I'm like, I play video games for a living. And a lot of people are just like, that's amazing.
Do you still get, I know back then, like, if you talk to people back then, like, oh yeah, I play video games for a living, they'd be like, what? Has that
Yeah.
changed to like this generation and these like past couple years? Like people are starting to understand like, oh yeah, you can make a career out of like playing video games?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cause honestly, like when I got into like streaming, I didn't even think that I was gonna even do this as a full-time career. It was just something that I saw my best friend, who was also my coworker at the time, just playing a game, and I just thought it was really, really cool to do. So I pretty much had like, okay, I have a degree in computer science. Maybe I could use that as a skill to kind of just like build something out of this. And I had a working laptop, and I just needed to get a webcam and a microphone and just see what happens. And now here we are almost 5 years later, just doing the damn thing, I guess.
We'll go a little bit into, I guess we'll go a little bit into like how this all started, right? Like, so first of all, I saw that, you know, you talked about you started streaming in like 2020, 2021 on a little MacBook. So like, what made you decide, yeah, let's just start streaming like just in general?
Yeah, so I like, again, like I mentioned, like I just saw my best friend, just streaming a game. I didn't know what it was and just thought it was really cool. I did end up, I only had a MacBook, so I didn't have enough money to get myself my own, PC, like laptop that I could do this on a long term. So I saw this girl, she doesn't stream anymore, but she went by Cry Bunny Girl. She did a YouTube video about how she streamed on a MacBook. And I saw it and I was thinking to myself, okay, this doesn't seem too complicated. So I ended up, buying a couple of peripherals, and then we hit go live on April 30th of 2021. And, like, I think like someone has told me, like, pray and play. That's exactly how I feel about it. Like every time I hit go live, you kind of just have to like fake it until you make it, pray and play that, streams go very well. Like, honestly, I didn't even think that I was going to reach affiliate or anything. But I kind of had like I wouldn't say a huge like fan base, but I did have like, my following was pretty, average, or at least enough to where it would get like people's attention. But I ended up getting affiliate on Twitch roughly 2 months after I started going live, and we're still here.
That's actually very impressive, like to get affiliate that quickly. Usually it takes people a long time to get affiliate. What, like, how did you, like, do you have any tips for people that want to get to that affiliate spot? Because that's a big milestone for a lot of Twitch streamers. So do you have any tips?
Yeah, like I know some people can get affiliate much quicker than 2 months, and probably something that I wish I could have done that I would advise newer streamers and upcoming streamers to do is utilize your socials, because the discoverability of Twitch, or even just live streaming altogether, is like slim to none. You're in the present moment, so like whoever shows up just shows up. And if you're not utilizing all of your other platforms, or not at least posting something to really connect with, not only to really connect with your audience, but also convert your audience into viewers, chances are you're not going to reach the goals that you want to have. So definitely, if you guys have like Instagram, TikTok's a big one right now with all the short form content, Twitter. If you're not putting yourself out there, then you're not working hard enough to put yourself out there.
Yeah, I know there a lot of people tend to get kind of embarrassed. They're like, oh, I don't want to like put myself out. But like, if you want to start streaming, like you said, Twitch, that Twitch live page, it's very tough to like have people find you, right?
Yeah.
So you have to do something else. And I guess we'll go a little bit into that. It was, so you talked about when we sent you that little questionnaire, you talked about how you had you're working a corporate healthcare job. and then you're also, modeling, you're also very into singing and everything like that. And then you decided to, you know what, maybe I should just go full-time to streaming. So can you tell me the journey of that from working as a corporate drone like me right now to, oh yeah, let's just go full-time streaming? Can you give us that journey?
Yeah. So I was like, before I decided, hey, this was gonna be my full-time job now. I worked in corporate for 8 years. I thought that was like gonna be like my forever job. Like at first I was, just very content with everything, like having that stability and everything else, health insurance, all that stuff. But then once when the pandemic hit, that's when everything changed. Um, and everyone started to work from home full time, or at least hybrid. Like we were hybrid for I think like a year after the pandemic. And then once we realized like, hey, we could do our systems and everything is working so smoothly, they transitioned our team to be a fully remote team. Um, and like again, it wasn't until like the pandemic hit that everything changed in the way that processes worked. Um, and it was to the point to where now AI has kind of hit and has made our processes so much easier, like to where we didn't have enough work throughout the day. So I was kind of just like passed around to different departments, and it just wasn't really fair to me because I probably could have utilized maybe more than half of my day into putting it into something else like streaming and content creation, or just things outside of it all. Um, and again, it wasn't like an easy decision for me when I decided like 5 months ago, okay, this is it. I really had to think about, all of my options and really consider, giving up and sacrificing a lot of things. But like at the end of the day, I kind of had to realize like I'm doing this for me and nobody else. Um, and then October of last year, I decided to resign officially after 8 years, left on good terms with the company, and decided, to kind of just do it for myself because I realized that, I was growing as a creator, like not just in streaming, but like all of my other platforms, I was growing and I was learning how to monetize myself more than just streaming, because streaming is only like that little bonus. It's gonna be what you post and the content that you're gonna make like outside of it. I do what is also called UGC, or user generated content. And what that is for everybody is that I make videos for brands to post on their channels. Um, and some of them I have had the opportunity to be, my own clients, my own retainers. So, um, in a sense, that gave me a little bit of stability. Like I know that I'm going to have some income coming in each month with these brands. And it's really cool. And it's something that I didn't think that I was going to even like be, successful in, because it is a really hard kind of like job to do, because it's not like just you post something that you're passionate about, like, oh, like I'm passionate about this, like I'm just gonna post something about this and call it a day and expect your audience to be your consumers. But no, it's usually there is a problem and a solution to what they're going for. And there's always, brands have their own deliverables, and brands kind of have their own strategy. It's like, oh, I do also as well like creative strategy, to where I'll go through all of these. I'll look into, their content and be like, okay, I see like you gave some really good points, but it's not, converting your audience. Like, how can we get more viewers? Like, how can I help you to, build this into kind of just like on a higher level? And that's what I bring to the brands, not just like, just content that connects with your audience, but also it converts into something much higher.
Mhm. Agreed.
And I think that's something that not many like creators really understand. Like you can't just like post something and expect it to go viral. Like it definitely takes a lot of work, and it's not just like, okay, I'm just gonna shoot point A, B, C, and then, you know, edit and then see what happens. Like it requires a lot of work behind the scenes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm showing off the one that we had that we worked with you on for the Intel Club. Like, there's a lot of like work behind the scenes that people don't realize. Like, it's not just, hey, can you do this? Like, we do a lot of things. You're in contact with us. We have certain things that we want, like talking points, and we have to send you something and you show it off in a certain way. And with other brands, if it's like a product thing too, like you have to show and utilize the product in certain ways. But this is for those that are here, like UGC is huge, and I see a lot of DMs of people in the comments asking for free PCs or free things. Well, if you're just a profile with no videos, no content, the business, like the business behind that is not going to work out. But if you have a very successful profile that showcases, like, here's my video editing, this is how I sell your product to these people, fantastic. Like, yeah, we're definitely interested in working with you. People that like go, hey, can I get a free PC? But I look at their profile and it's private with like 50 followers. I'm like, well, if we give you $1,000 to $2,000 PC, how are we going to expect to get that? It's a money transaction thing. And I think people don't realize that.
And I think it never fails that like sometimes when people see my content, whether it's like paid partnership or this creator gets commissions, there's probably maybe that one person that is like, oh, there's no way that you partnered with this brand with X amount of followers. The number doesn't matter. It's the value that you bring. Like, what value are you going to bring to that brand?
That's
is really going to be the determining factor.
Everyone that keeps asking for free stuff in my DMs and comments, this is the type of conversation you need to be listening to. So please, like, Kat is bringing in some really, really good information. You talked a little bit about it. I was going to ask, like, a lot of people, when they make UGC, they tend to just, here's a product, that's it. But you have a lot of like thought and ideas going into it, and you kind of have like a streamlined process. Has your years in, with your degree in business administration, and then, your years in the corporate world, has that like helped provide you an advantage in creating UGC and streaming?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, like once again, I had a degree in computer science, so obviously the skills and the classes that I took to help, elevate with streaming and content creation definitely helps. But now we have like, just resources now to where, people rely on like short form, long form content to be like, oh, how to become a streamer and everything. So it's definitely nice. But I would say like over the years, since I have been in the game for quite a bit now, I'm always learning something new every time, because brands demand different things every time. So you kind of just have to follow, what their expectations are, and you kind of just have to, never be afraid to stop learning and never be afraid to stop growing, because that's probably the only way for you to even grow yourselves as a person.
I do have this section for later, but if we're talking about it now, we might as well do it. It's about branding and talking with other things. So like when a brand approaches you, like, hey, we want you to showcase our product in a UGC video. Like, what's the most important factor to consider before you agree to it? Like, is it like the creative freedom, the product access, the timing?
First, I want to make sure it's legit.
Yeah.
at first. Because you're gonna come across, like just those spam emails, or you're gonna come across those emails that seem like, hey, we're from this brand, but if you look at their email address and everything, like there's ways to find out now if this is like the right person or a legit email that you're talking to about these opportunities. So that's the first thing. Because if it's not, then it's just like, red flag. But I mean, once I get to know, the brand, I do my research. So there's kind of like a little like research pillar that I kind of, consider. And then usually, kind of depending on the brand, they usually have like briefs. So I definitely read through the briefs to see, what kind of deliverables that they expect and everything. Sometimes they'll be very specific as to like, oh, we only want raw footage only, don't do any edits, or maybe this specific amount of CTAs or call to action. So definitely very important to, kind of just consider what they're specifically looking for, because they may not always want the typical, oh, I'm just going to unbox a product and explain to you guys why I like it so much. There's definitely kind of like, again, that creative strategy and kind of like that creative freedom that you kind of have like the opportunity to kind of, just go through. But yeah, with brands, I will say like putting yourself out there, definitely give a variety. I also have like a UGC portfolio that kind of showcases a lot of my best work out there, just to kind of give them like, hey, this is the type of content that I do, like problem solution unboxings. Like, again, the brands are going to ask for different things.
Exactly. I guess we could use us as an example, right? So we did a virtual feedback event, which I'll talk about later for everyone here. But we got to know each other because of this virtual feedback event. And then we learned that, you're a streamer and everything like that. And then Ivan goes, oh, we should contact her. We just talked to her for like 2 hours and she gave great stuff. We should like talk to her. So if you want to give like a little bit of context about like what we did with you for this video here, like, do you want to give like a quick little process of like how it is? Because some people just think like, oh, we give you stuff, talk about, done. But there's a lot more that goes behind the scenes. So if you want to give it so that people know like what we do.
Yeah. So, I mean, the virtual feedback was definitely like step one in how, they reached out to me and everything. But like the whole process with the video and stuff, like you literally gave us like kind of just like the assets and the tools and be like, kind of use however you want with it. But I do scripting. I like to do scripting to kind of just lay out everything in terms of what I want to say, to shots, like B-roll shots that I'm going to do. So it's very strategic in the way that I want to like kind of utilize everything. And then honestly, I mean, it's just like you guys gave us the creative freedom to kind of just like, okay, here's the stuff, utilize however you guys want to, do it. Like, again, brands are going to ask for different things. If they're going to be very strict about it, definitely abide by the rules, because they'll definitely come at you if you don't. But yeah, I mean, for my video, I was kind of just like, okay, make sure to showcase the products in the way with different B-rolls, but also explaining, tell my audience, sign up for the NZXT Intel Club because they offer this and this and this and this. Definitely give those key points out. And then obviously, like the captions and stuff, that's a little bonus. It's not necessarily for everything, but sometimes, I like to do it because, there's people that, may not have like good like audio and stuff and whatnot. It could be hard to hear sometimes. So sometimes I like doing like the text to speech to kind of like just bring attention and kind of just bring more to life, because a lot of people, our attention spans are like very, very small now. So if you're not capturing your audience within like the first like 3 to 5 seconds into your video, then they're gonna immediately scroll.
Exactly. Especially with how, like you said, our attention spans are fried now. Like, if you don't get
Yeah.
something, it's called a hook. Like, if you don't have a good hook, people are just gonna. Because, I mean, how easy it is to scroll like this. Takes no time at all. So, if you don't give anything of value, they're swiping that real quick. I do want to ask you, and it varies between a lot of creators. How do you value success? As success as in like success in the video, or success in getting a brand deal done. How do you measure it specifically?
Honestly, for me, I define success is whether or not it brings value to the audience, whether or not it is really like I create content to be relatable, because at the end of the day, I'm just the average person, just, that is just very passionate in the things that I love to showcase to the world. um, but yeah, I feel like, getting the brand deals and, getting, recognition from brands themselves, whether it's just like a simple like or repost or everything. That's just the bonus of everything. But as long, as it connects with my audience and it's relatable and I'm able to kind of like just give back, that's all that really matters to me.
Exactly. I mean, it's just how it's supposed to be. Like, I understand, you have to make a paycheck at the end of the day. So that's totally the thing. But if there's a way to do it so that it aligns with if your audience will be interested, like if you're a gaming, like a gaming page, and then you bring in, I don't know, this protein powder or something like that. Like you may not like it may intersect, but like the tenets of it will probably not connect very well. But if you do, if you're a gaming profile and you work with a gaming company like us, well, then there you go. It's real easy to make that decision. It is hard to like understand that there's like different ways, and obviously you have to make a paycheck and everything like that. But if you
Yeah.
there's a chance to, guys, really try to align with it, because then your audience will then trust you more as you go on and making more UGC and everything like that, to understand like,
Yeah,
oh
your
yeah,
audience will definitely know if you're having a good time.
exactly.
Like they just know.
And okay, and then we talked a little bit about this, and now because of UGC and everything like that, you are able to become a full-time streamer and everything like that. So I do want to dive into it, because that is everyone's dream, right? Like, oh, I want to be a streamer. But some streaming is just like the tip of the iceberg. You have to do a bunch of other stuff to make sure that you can maintain yourself and pay the bills. So you do all this work behind the scenes, and now you could be a full-time streamer. So let's take a deep dive into that. So first of all, how scary was it October last year? Like,
Yeah.
for you to go, I think I'm gonna give this a full try.
It was like I had to think about a lot of things. Like it was definitely not an easy decision for me, but I really had to think to myself like what was going to be best for me, because I noticed that time went on, I was feeling depressed. There was a time to where I had mental breakdowns at work because I was so overworked. And, by the time I was able to get, to have time for myself, it would probably maybe be like 1, 2 hours at the most. And I couldn't, I worked like a full 8 hour job at home. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved working from home. And I also incorporate the gym because fitness means a lot to me too. So I wanted to make sure that I, fit that into my schedule. And since I have to commute to do everything, it definitely eats up a lot of my time. And by the time I would get home, it would be like maybe 7, 8 o'clock. It would be dinner time. And I would probably maybe only have like an hour or two to like game. And then I would pass out and do it all over again, like 5 days a week. And like, even though like the stability was there to be able to do what I could do, now like I was starting, to feel more burnt out, more exhausted of just the same routine over and over again. And that was definitely something that I had to think about. But now I have more time wealth. I always like to think of time wealth as more important than money wealth, because money can be replaced, but the time that you have to do everything, you can't replace that. And it's been like 5 months now since I've took this leap of faith, because this was always something that I wanted to do. I always wanted to become, my own boss. I always wanted to, be an entrepreneur and everything else, and just, do something for myself and not have to put my dreams on a back burner for so long. Like I kind of felt like that for like the longest time, when I had to, give up my singing career and my modeling career and everything. It's like pay before play. So I had to think about, college, and I had to think about work and everything else. But now that I'm old enough to kind of just, make my own decisions, and to, I've been seeing a lot of success in UGC and, content creation, and actually making, some sort of income, whether it's consistent or not, because, it's scary sometimes when you're not hitting your numbers, on certain months, and that's scary. But I have a community that fully supports me like 100% in what I do, and that's the most important thing. But yeah, it was definitely a very scary moment, like probably the first like 2 months, because I've had other things happen outside of streaming that I don't really want to discuss, but it kind of just hit me pretty hard on a lot of things that I had to like, just take a step back. But it also made me realize that I now have this time now to kind of focus on other things, especially that I couldn't do for like a long time.
No, that's awesome. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. I think people, this generation is all about 100% grind set, right? Like wake up and start grinding, but like not having the ability to like play a game and relax and not have to be going 24/7. I don't think people realize that now. I know a lot of people that, I graduated from college that are, they're working finance, and all they're doing is working like 100-hour work weeks. And, they're like, oh my God, I'm making so much money. But like, you guys are also like, I can see in your eyes, like you're tired, you're exhausted. And I really do think that people here, as much as it's, you have that like, oh, I could do this, I can handle it. Take some time for yourself and be able to do that. And I guess we could kind of talk a little bit about that. So, you had your, challenges, like physical, mental challenges when working in the corporate world and not having time to yourself. What physical, mental challenges do you get now as a full-time streamer?
I did mention a little bit about this on a TikTok video, imposter syndrome. That is definitely something that I feel like every creator goes through. And it's like kind of feeling that never really goes away. Like there could be a time to where you feel like you're on top of the world, like your content is like doing everything, like your streams are going great, and you feel like like everything is just falling into place. But then the next month it could be like the worst month ever. Like you kind of question yourself, like everything is going wrong. And that's something that I'm going through currently because like my streams have been crashing like every single week. And it's just like, okay, I'm trying out everything, but what's going wrong? And, I'm not reaching the audience that I used to. I'm like, is it my content? You like, again, you think about so many other things. And then I kind of have to realize, and I think we kind of have to realize that we are in our own journey and we're always going to have to go through, just little bumps on the road, but just know that the feelings that, we are going through are temporary. We just kind of have to like talk ourselves out of it.
Yeah, I think people realize that they think like it's a straight line up, right? Like if I'm gonna do it, it's just gonna keep going up. But really, it's like this. It's ups and downs, but slowly but surely going up in the end. But like you said, you'll get that. And also a big thing about doing this, like you're like, oh, we'll get through it, is like burnout. I feel like is a huge thing with like not seeing the progress that you want, everything like that. So how do you deal with that imposter syndrome and that burnout? Like what is that mental thing of like, I need to get through this?
Like again, it's just more about how we see success and just know that we are in our own journey. Like everyone is going to start somewhere. Um, Like if I were to have started like streaming today, like I probably would have more knowledge now than what I did like 5 years ago. Um, I think it's just all about, kind of just know that we're kind of in our own path. Like, don't be afraid to ask for help too, either, because, there's probably someone else out there that's probably listening right now. It's like, okay, I'm resonating with Kat. Like, I'm feeling like these similar things now. So in a way that like it's relatable in a sense. But probably the way that I get out of it is just like this is only temporary. We're all gonna go through kind of just like these feelings and just know that these feelings are valid, but like never put in your mindset that it's never going to get better, because it will get better. You just kind of have to work on yourself.
There's a lot. You have to have a thick skin, especially in this industry, but you also have to have like the mental, like the positivity outlook, the half full versus the half empty, type of style. So do you have advice for anyone, like you talked about, is like, if they want to start streaming today, they have a little computer, they got a little laptop like you had back then, and they want to start streaming. What is your like couple pieces of advice? So like, hey, this is how you should get started. This is what you should get. This is how you should do things.
I always say quality over quantity, because it's just, there's so many different brands and there's so many different equipment out there, everything from budget friendly to high end. And sometimes it can be a little bit like intimidating because, it could be like, hey, like this is a really good brand, but will it perform the way that it does? So definitely invest what you can afford, because you can grow over time and you should be growing over time. So definitely like invest in what you can for now, because you don't have to start with everything. Like if you don't have a webcam, you don't have to start with a webcam. Like if you have a microphone and you have like your gameplay set ready to go, like you can just be a faceless streamer from time to time. And if you feel comfortable about putting your face out there, grab yourself a webcam. Like most cameras now are just plug and play and you're just ready to go. So accessibility to equipment that you can have that fits into your budget is always a plus. And then again, diversify your platforms. That is important, especially like give your audience ahead of time and be like, hey, so I'm thinking about getting into streaming. and be like, these are the types of games that I'm gonna play, what time. Like, definitely give your audience a heads up, because if you're just going to spew out days like, oh, I'm just gonna stream on this day, this day, this day, but next week I'm gonna stream on this day and this day at this time, like, people are not gonna follow, like, or how are people going to expect to keep returning to you if you just kind of just go in random wars? So having consistency is so important, whether it's through streaming, whether it's through your socials. Like, having consistency. I always say this saying, like, say what you mean and mean what you say. That's definitely something, like, if you're not going to like mean what you're gonna like do, then how are people going to relate to you, and how are people going to follow you? Like, if you're a DJ but you don't post content about you being a DJ, how are people supposed to resonate with that? So especially in those like in your bios, be like, I'm a full-time streamer or something like that, or just mention you're a streamer. Kind of just give your audience a heads up, like, I'm live on these days. Like, you don't have to have everything figured out, but as time goes on and as you grow, you're just gonna know. It's all about trial and error.
Do you
And don't
have?
be afraid to kind of like, seek opportunities there.
Yeah, I was curious. I know you said like depending on what your budget is and everything like that. Do you have like a piece of like gear or software that if like the first thing you should improve on, like, you know, like the first thing that if you want to like improve your setup and everything, would be like the first thing that you would recommend?
Well, I mean, obviously a mic for sure.
Mm.
Um, Obviously, like, again, if you don't have a webcam, like, how are people going to, know who you are if you don't like necessarily talk? Like, I know that there's, people on YouTube that do just like full playthroughs of a game
Mm.
and just only show the gameplay. Like, you can see that all throughout, but you're in a streaming space. You're supposed to connect with your audience. You can't just like stop what you're doing and just type in the chat and then just continue on. That's way too much work for you. So I would say definitely invest in a mic first. So that way you're able to connect with your audience, like, in real time without having to physically stop what you're doing. And then the rest can kind of follow through. So if you feel comfortable with putting yourself out there with a webcam, invest in a webcam. Again, like, take it from someone that, streamed on a MacBook for like the first 9-10 months before I finally had enough money to get my own PC, NZXT. I got like a whole like pre-built and everything. But again, it's what you can invest in, what you can afford. So you don't have to have the most high tech quality to get started. Like, you don't even have to wait. So if you have what you need, like, just go ahead and start. And like, the only way to really do like whether or not if something goes wrong, like say like if your audio goes wrong or like your mic cuts off or something like that, it gives you kind of like that wiggle room opportunity to be like, hey, I can fix these things for like the next stream to come on. So again, this is a space where you can learn and grow, and don't be afraid to ask people and be like, hey, I love your headset. What do you like? What do you use?
I do want to talk a little bit about your groups that you're a part of. I think a lot of people don't like think when they're streaming like you're all alone. This is all you, right? Like you're in this, you will get yourself out of this and everything like that. But you are a part of a lot of groups. You're a part of Blue Mix, Glow, which is the Gaming League of Women, Thousand Dreams Fun, Not Management, Meld Studio. First of all, I want to give you a chance to shout them out if you want to shout out anyone in particular. But what is like so important about joining these like groups and creator groups and stuff?
I have the Kasual Kingdom, of course, so it gives my audience a safe space to connect with me, in and out of streams, because not everybody, may not have like all the socials that I'm a part of. So I know Discord is such a, just a big like universal server where everyone can have, access to. So community means everything. And it definitely like helps uplift you, and definitely in times where you feel like not yourself. Um, and like special shout out to Bloomix Studio. I do social media managing, so I help out with all the scheduling, to shout out all the creators that are streaming that day and everything. And there's like so many like different groups, like you mentioned before, like Blue Mix, Glow, Gaming League of Women, um, the 1000 Dreams Fund, which is I'm also a Dream Team ambassador for, which gives, women a safe space for them to have all the necessary tools to become successful in, in esports and gaming and content creation. We do like so many different things like marketing, outreach, we do, charity streams all throughout on Twitch and everything. We've raised over $60,000 last year to the Twitch Women's Guild. So we do a lot of charity streams. We definitely do a lot of events, and there's a lot of opportunities for networking. Networking is a very important thing when it comes to these spaces like this. And again, there's like, Melt Studio. Melt Studio is another, amazing, kind of brand streaming software that I use to be able to connect with you guys like almost every single day. And, their community and their management team has been such an amazing honor, and has helped me out through so much. And it like honestly, like getting into communities not only gives you like connections and networking and stuff and everything else, but it's also led me to you guys with NZXT. Again, if you're not putting yourself out there, you're not shooting your shot. Like I didn't like when I saw about the virtual feedback was literally through Twitter. That's how I found you guys. And as someone who has been a longtime user with NZXT for 4 years with their pre-built PCs, I thought, that was the perfect opportunity to collaborate with a brand that I have resonated with for a long time, and it's brought me here. So I mean, I will say, like, definitely community is everything, and definitely putting yourself out there is like the best thing possible.
I mean,
because you never know.
You hit the nail on the head, everyone. Like listen to this. It's Zilla in the chat said like this is a MFing masterclass, and it really is. It really is. Like Kat, you've gone down into like the hardships of becoming a full-time streamer and content creator, but like there are so much that people aren't utilizing to make it in this industry, and you can make it. You just got to put the work in, and you guys can. So please, like, listen to this. You're not going to get hand-me-outs. You're going to work for it. And Kat has shown, like, you put yourself out there, things can happen. I literally had her on the virtual feedback, no intention of anything, and then we're like, oh, let's work together. And now look at her. She's on the podcast. Like, that is awesome. Like the things that lead into just one little thing and snowball into another, it's amazing, guys.
Yeah. And I feel like almost my whole entire setup has been paid off from like free stuff because you work your butt off. Like you can literally make your own dream PC setup just by, with me being as a creator, like, if there's an opportunity that is aligning with you, like if it's knocking on your door, open it. Just open it, because you never know what's gonna appear on the other side.
I love that. Seriously, masterclass in getting into content. Everyone, seriously, this is like a TED Talk basically. So if you guys do a fraction of what Kat did, you guys will see some improvements. So now it's time for my favorite segment, is the rapid fire, because I love asking the weird questions. It's just a fun way of, showing your little personality to the audience. So first, we'll ease into it. Then I got the weird ones at the end. Luckily, you've done a lot of pageantry stuff, so you're kind of used to the weird questions. So first of all, what games are you playing as of right now that people can see on your Twitch?
Pokemon. I mean, obviously they celebrate 30 years, so I'm planning on streaming Pokemon Pokopia. I'm doing a Leaf Green playthrough. I showcase a lot of indie games, so like games that are coming out in this year. I play a lot of like cozy games. I am one of those like cozy streamers, but I do a lot of casual playthroughs, so that's what kind of makes it different. But right now, Pokemon's number one.
Have you seen the ratings on Poketopia? I can't even say the name, but have you seen the ratings on it? They're saying it's like one of the best Pokemon games they've released, almost close to ever. It literally was the highest rated Pokemon game of all time. So I'm excited. Sadly, I don't have a Switch 2, so I'll have to buy a Switch 2 just to play it. But I will do it someday.
Yeah. Well, thanks to the 1000 Dreams Fund, I got a grant last year for the broadcaster. There was like an extensive kind of application to apply. Literally, again, shoot your shot. It was my first time applying for that grant, and I was one of the 3 winners to get it last year. So I was able to use, like, what's really great is that you're able to use the funds for different things like upgrading your hardware, software, even going to conventions like TwitchCon or DreamHack. Like, the possibilities are definitely, endless over there. And again, the 1000 Dreams Fund has a lot of different opportunities. Like, there are some creators that now work with Riot Games, like literally just doing like, going into, a convention, and now they're working with Riot Games for a full time. So, and definitely there's a lot of, we do a lot of charity streams, throughout to help support the 1000 Dreams Fund, because it's a nonprofit organization. So definitely check it out. Definitely shoot them out. We definitely have a lot of stuff coming up for, especially this year. We have like the Fellowship Academy, to where they could win an all paid expenses trip. And it's really awesome because they've done a lot for me last year going into this year, and actually, working with them, as an ambassador. But yeah, definitely, check out their site, see what they have to offer. And it's not just for, like women like myself, like they have programs for, women in college and women in school. So to help with like schooling and funds for schooling. So there's a lot that goes behind the scenes.
That is awesome. See, I posted the link in the chat if anyone was interested. Seriously, I saw on the top of the thing, it was like 1 hour of your time can change your entire life. And I'm like, it's true. Like it really is. Like, you just put in a little bit of work and your whole life can change. So that's awesome. I gave a link in the chat, or if you're listening on the podcast, it is 1000 dreamsfund.org. If you guys want to take a look at that, if you are listening on SoundCloud. What is one game you wish you could replay for the first time ever? Like, you wipe your memory, play it again.
Oh, God, that's so hard because I mentioned it earlier, but I don't want to say the same thing. God. I would say, the Kingdom Hearts series. That's obviously one of my all-time favorite like video game series of all time. I feel like I stream it like every year, so like it feels kind of new to me, especially if I'm doing like a different like mode, especially like on Proud Mode or something like that. So I would say the Kingdom Hearts series or The Legend of Dragoon. Like, that would be another one.
Sparta71 in the chat asks, my biggest question is, what is the balance of streaming and gaming off stream for fun?
Ooh, that is a good question. Definitely there's a lot of, work-life balance between everything. Um, but I think it's very important to, again, take care of yourself and everything. Um, but like now that I work, do this on a daily, I have more time for myself. But for anybody, before that, works full time and has other priorities and stuff like that. Um, I will say that like streaming is only like a small fraction of what I do. Um, but content creation is like probably the biggest thing because I'm only streaming for like a couple hours a day, each week. So like, um, so I would, but obviously, definitely give yourself like, if you're starting, like, don't do all those crazy like 8-hour streams and everything because that's not going to help you grow. Definitely give yourself like, ask yourself, is there like a window? Is there like maybe 1 to 2 hours out of your day that you could really, focus on streaming or just give yourself, I sometimes have to manually give myself like an hour or two just for myself, just to give myself a break because it's a lot. It's a lot. Not many people like fully understand like, oh, it can be fun, but it's a lot of work, especially if you're doing this consistently and you're doing this on a full-time thing. So kind of just like know what you're getting into. You kind of have to figure it out yourself because it's going to be different for everybody.
I think it's a standard idea of like, if you have a hobby and you do the hobby, you're doing it temporarily, but when your hobby becomes like a job is a very different breed. So understanding the difference between like, hey, I need to do this for work versus like, hey, I'm just gonna enjoy some gaming on my off time. I think it depends on the person and like who you are catering your audience to. Like if you're a League of Legends streamer, your audience probably just wants to see League of Legends. So it's tough to play like Pokemon and then to go, oh yeah, I want to see this, right? So I think it's tough.
Because at the end of the day, we're all human. Life happens. So you kind of have to prioritize you and what's going to work best for you. So that's the balance between everything, between like streaming and then just, just having fun and everything else in between.
I got some Pokemon questions here, which is very fun. Since I see some Pokemon plushies behind you and you talked a little bit about Pokemon. So what is your favorite Pokemon of all time?
Dragonair.
Ooh, Dragonair, not Dragonite?
No.
Oh, okay. What is your favorite Pokemon game of all time?
All time would be Pokemon Yellow, because that was the very first Pokemon game that I got into.
Who is...
And I still have it. I still have the cartridge with the Game Boy Color.
That thing's probably you could sell that for a lot of money. Are you gonna keep it?
It's still in good condition. So I tried to take care of my stuff.
Who do you think is the best Pokemon starter trio?
God, oh, that is rough.
Yeah, because there's some good trios out there, but like you gotta say the best one.
I would say Gen 2.
Oh, you're
with
Gen 2.
Yeah, Totodile, Chikorita, and
wow.
Yeah. Gen 2.
Wow. Because most people for dare say Gen 3, they got a Mudkip and stuff like that. I'm a Gen 4, so I was a Pokemon Diamond Pearl guy, so like everything I did was Gen 4, but I love that. I actually don't hear a lot of people saying 2, so I love that. If you could own one Pokemon in real life, who would it be?
Ooh, one Pokemon I would love in full. Ooh, Clefairy.
Oh, that's a good one.
I love Clefairy.
That's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. I like that too. You talked about working out. What is your favorite exercise to do?
Ooh. Oh, I love me a good leg day. So like anything from Bulgarian split squats, like
Oh,
I know that is a pain, but it definitely, you feel the burn.
oh,
So anything with like Bulgarian split squats, hip thrust, I also like pendulum squats.
oh, that's fun.
And I also like just kind of like just leg extensions, like curls. But yeah, I would say any like lower day is like exercise is perfect for me.
What is the most common question in your DMs that you just want to answer now?
Oh God,
So you
most
never have to,
common.
so you never have to like hear it again. Like you're just like, I'm done. This is it.
Oh God.
It doesn't have to be
Always.
DMs too. It could be comments or anything like that too.
Oh God. Um. Oh yeah, I always get comments on my glasses a lot because they're always like, "Oh," I was like, "Where'd you get your glasses?" Like your glasses, like every time it's like a video about something, it's like they're like, "Okay, but where'd you get your glasses?" I'm like, "You don't care about anything else." No, I'm just kidding. But I get comments about my glasses a lot because like they're rainbow. Um, and they're usually on like my little like PNG tubers and stuff and whatnot. So these particular glasses I got from Firmoo. It's FIRMOO. They have a lot of different frames and a lot of different shades. I'm actually a partner now with another optical group called Zenni, ZENNI. Um, they have so many different affordable shades, lenses, if you need prescription, which I literally use too. They got you sunglasses if you need like the blue light, like, lenses, they got you too. So, um, it's usually about my glasses mostly.
What's one dream collab you hope happens?
One dream Nintendo.
Mm.
I grew up with it as a child, so like everything from like the Game Boy, like um, and I got to collab with Pokemon literally during Pokemon Day, so I already like achieved that. They gave me like Pokegold to kind of to use for the TCG, so I was like, oh, okay. And obviously you guys, have, been like my long time dream. Like, what are the odds of like actually, getting to talk with a brand that you use
Hmm.
like every single day? And it's been like years, but I feel like Nintendo would be like number one for me.
Ooh, what is your favorite karaoke song? Since I know you're a streamer or streamer, singer.
Ooh, karaoke. Well, I love K-pop, so I listen to a lot of K-pop.
Who's
Um,
your stan?
oh God. Right now it is XG. Um, so but I also love Blackpink. Like Blackpink is just a classic. So if I had to choose a song, like or at least like a group, like anything with like Blackpink.
Ooh, what is something you're proud of but you never really have an excuse to talk about?
Um, can you repeat that?
What's something that you're proud of but you don't have like an excuse to talk about?
Oh, that I'm proud of?
Mm-hmm.
That I don't have an excuse to talk about. Oh God. I don't know, to be honest with you.
That's totally fine if you already have you know talked about most of the stuff. That's pretty dope. That's awesome. I know there's like some things that people
Yeah.
like to nerd out on. They're like, oh, I have this hobby that does this, but I mean that's great. That's honestly better that you're like, yeah, no, I've talked about everything I talk about. That's good.
Right?
Ooh, do you have a conspiracy theory that you believe in, that you truly believe in?
Not really, to be honest with you.
Trying to think of actually, I don't even know what conspiracy. I believe in aliens, I guess. I think aliens have landed on Earth, or we're the aliens. I believe that. Not sure
Yeah.
what else fun stuff.
I know ghosts are real. I definitely know that ghosts are real.
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a good one.
'Cause every time there's like a certain lamp that will flicker in my living room. And sometimes when I'm like, I honestly feel like it's my grandmother on my mom's side. Cause every time I would like ask like a specific question, it would like flicker like once for yes, two for no.
What?
So that way I kind of know like she's there.
That's crazy. Sparta 71, pigeons are government drums. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just true. We all know that's just true. There, a quick little story. When I was in college and we had a government shutdown during when I was in college, we used to have pigeon noises, like pigeons and birds all the time. During the government shutdown, there were 0 birds on campus. 0. Nothing. So I went, I know it's a joke, but is it a joke that like the 2 days that we had this government shutdown, there are 0 birds across this big campus? I was like, this is weird. This is a very weird day. And the government was like, oh yeah, we refunded it. We're back in. Birds are back. That was like the time where I'm like, dude, I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. I actually have a phobia of birds. I do not like birds, period.
That is understandable. They can be a little weird. I can understand that.
Especially pigeons. Especially pigeons.
If you had to eat and drink everything, either hot or cold, which one are you choosing? So it's either got to eat cold food and drink cold beverages, or eat hot food and drink hot beverages only.
I would choose hot any day.
I think I would too.
Hot any day.
I think I could deal with drinking hot stuff, but I can't deal with eating cold stuff.
Yeah.
I think that'll get to me after a while.
Yeah. That would be like you asking me to like give up rice and stuff. Like I cannot give up my rice or my Filipino food.
Oh, what is your favorite Filipino food?
Ooh, panse bihon.
Ooh, okay. All right. My fiance is part Filipino, and one of my best friends from back home. God, I knew him before I could even remember it was Filipino. And oh my gosh, I would have everything. Chicken feet, lumpia. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I thought I ate more Filipino food than Korean food at a certain point. And I'm Korean, so
Yeah.
it's like, ooh. Would you rather have to high five everyone you see or hug everyone you see?
I'm a hugger, so I mean I would have to choose hug.
There you go. There you go. I think I would high five because I'm just like, I feel like it's very weird for me to just hug random people. I think I'd just high five. Like, yeah, if I try, like, this guy's weird. But
I mean, unless if you ask first, I mean.
That's true. That is true. How much sawdust can you put in a Rice Krispie treat before people start to notice?
What?
Well, how much? What's the limit?
When you said about random questions, I'm like sawdust? I'm like,
yeah, no, I have some weird ones.
What's sawdust on a Rice Krispie treat? Oh, because they okay.
I
would have to say like, I don't know, maybe like a thin layer. Like I don't know how like thin. Like I can kind of
like a little sugar frosting, basically.
Yeah, like a sugar frosting.
I like that. I think,
or maybe like a powdered sugar dusting.
I was thinking the same thing. I saw that question. I was laughing so hard because I'm just like, what if we did that to someone here at the office? That would be funny. Voluntarily, not like we have them sit down and be like, hey, would you be interested in doing this as a for a bit? They'd be like, sure. And they would just see how long until they notice it. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And then I think we could do the standard one. If all animals were the same size, what animal would you want to keep in your house?
All animals were the same size.
Yeah, so if you had like, if let's say all animals
Ooh.
were like cat sized, would you want like a rhino the size of a cat, or would you want a cat size of a rhino? Like, how would you want to do it?
Ooh, I would want all of them to be like chinchilla size.
NZXT Chinchilla, are you
I
here?
like things a little bit compact. So
What would you want as the chinchilla size?
I would want like a chinchilla size like elephant.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love elephants.
Ooh, I like that. I like that answer a lot, actually. You know what? I'm changing mine to that. I like that a lot.
Because then it
rhino.
could be like a little like plush. Like it could be like a round body with like big ears and then a big toes. It could be like its own little plush.
I love that a lot. Oh, okay. Well, that's it on the rapid fire questions. I'm going to do a quick couple announcements and I'm going to hand it back over to you, Kat, for anything that you have to say. So first of all, seriously, guys, thank you guys for joining us today. The NZXT Intel Club that we have right here, it is popping right now. So special thanks to Intel for helping us sponsor the club and basically giving you guys a ton of free stuff, giving Kat tons of free stuff. We're giving you guys shirts, plushies, and the biggest prize of them all, a real life NZXT like PC, like a free real PC that we don't like troll you guys, like free Player One Prime PC. Go to nzxt.co/club, sign up and participate in our community to earn Poochie points. And the more points you earn by doing quests, the more entries you have into the giveaway. So if you guys want to enter the giveaway and get as many entries as possible, start ASAP, and the more points you get now, the better you'll be after. You do !club if you're in the chat, or nzxt.co/club. We have launched our brand new H2 Flow case, which is a mini ITX case, really sick, along with a small form factor PSU, the CA50 SFX. You guys can check it out at !H2 Flow or !New Stuff. If you guys are interested in getting a PC with the new H2 Flow Mini ITX case, we have two PCs available. It is a Intel Core Ultra 9 285K H2 Flow or an AMD Ryzen 7 9800X3D. But both PCs come with 32 gigabytes of DDR5 RAM, which, how expensive and everything like that is. It's very rare to see that. 2 terabytes of storage and a 5080. You guys can look at that at !H2PC or just go to our website. We kind of talked a little bit about it, but we met Kat through a virtual feedback event that I was hosting. It's basically at the end of March, you guys can meet with our CEO, Johnny, and like tons of other NZXT staff. And you guys can like give honest feedback and opinions. Like Kat like basically told us everything about how her experience was when she first bought a PC and what she uses it now. You guys can literally roast us if you want during these sessions. Like we take all feedback very, very, very what's it called? We take it all very seriously. We actually had a meeting like 2 or 3 days ago addressing a lot of the things. Oh yeah, I see Tech, you're in this chat right now. He was at the in-person one. We literally take all the feedback and we are actively doing it. We literally had a meeting just like 2 or 3 days ago to go over all the feedback all of our people were talking about. So it's like really dope. We are utilizing it. So if you guys want to do !feedback, you guys can fill out that Google form. It's open to all regions because it's virtual, so we can reach out to everyone. In person, you're only limited to those that can come to our California headquarters, but virtual, anyone in the world. And that is it for my announcements. I'm going to hand it back to Kat. So first of all, what's next for you, Kat? Like, you have any fun projects or content you're working on?
So I mean, KasuallyKat is just all over the place. So I mean, if you guys follow me on my socials, that will give you like the best updates possible. I do have a couple things coming up with the 1000 Dreams Fund. Gonna be doing kind of like a little Ray trained to help, raise funds for, the 1000 Dreams Fund. So that will be, details will be coming up very soon for that. Also with Glow, the Gaming League of Women, I have an announcement of that really, really soon. I can't say just yet, but we are doing a lot of really cool events with that organization too. But other than that, just stay up to date with just all things streaming. Again, my socials is usually the best way possible to kind of just, see what I have coming up next.
I just put in your beacons link, so if anyone is interested, you guys probably already did it with the Gleam giveaway, but please take a look at Kat's socials. By the way, good luck in August for your event. So is there anything that we could do to keep up with you for your preparation for the event or anything like that? Any way where we can say, good luck or anything?
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have stuff like towards like the upcoming weeks prior to, the pageant and stuff and everything. So, I mean, support is just, just more than what I could ever ask for. So, just that too.
Yeah, good luck. You got this. Today's the year. Today's the year. This is the year.
Is the year?
This is the year. Today's the year. I don't know. Maybe today's the year. Maybe today's the year. Oh gosh, I'm going crazy. For those that are here, we are giving away an Intel hoodie, shirt, and mouse pad. That's the third thing. And we are. Basically, we're doing this Gleam giveaway as our way of saying thank you for those that are joining live. We have a secret code word that gives you 1,000 bonus entries into the giveaway. That's our way of saying thank you for those that are joining us. Kat, what would you like the secret code word to be? It can be anything you want.
The secret word, the secret code is going to be, drum roll please, Dragonair. In honor of my favorite Pokemon.
Heck yeah. Let me make sure that it is updated. Okay, don't type it just yet. Ooh, also, I need to, hold on, wait. I need to change up the time frame on this because, whoops, I accidentally let, okay, I'll do, there we go. Update competition. Hold on, let me update it now. Of course, now Gleam is taking forever to do it. Okay, the secret code word is Dragonair. No, today's the year will not be the code word. No, stop, Sparta. No.
Not today's the year.
No.
Hashtag today's the year. I'm gonna make a post and be like, thank you for the opportunity. Hashtag today's the year.
God, am I gonna have to live with that? Great. Okay, it is Dragonair. Not today's the year. Please don't make this a thing. Please, I beg of you guys. So thank you guys for joining us. And remember, tune in live on Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on the official NZXT Twitch. And don't forget to listen to previous episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and SoundCloud. If you have any questions for us, you can send an email to podcast@nzxt.com or tag @NZXT on social media platforms. Thank you, KasuallyKat, for joining us on the podcast for this week. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a good weekend, everyone.